Elon Musk's town hall in Wisconsin was an absolute disaster, and there's a few reasons for that. The first, obviously, is he was protested before, during, and after getting senselessly booed, heckled, and mocked. The second is that Elon's attempt to buy this Supreme Court race has completely backfired because he is energizing people to turn out against him. Also, he's breaking the law. But the third and biggest issue for Elon at this town hall is that he's just not a great speaker, and especially when he is confronted with his own lies, which is exactly what happened at this town hall, and it was an absolute disaster. We're going to get into it and how upset MAGA is going to be, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, before we can get into Elon getting caught in that lie, I want to start with maybe the biggest lie that he didn't get caught in, he just said, during this entire town hall.
My question is about USAID. Has the Doge team found any evidence that any of the radical left Democrats like Maxine Waters, Adam Schiff, Chuck Schumer have received money directly from USAID? And if so, will we be hearing about that evidence anytime soon?
Yeah. So there is a massive amount of corruption, but it is circuitous. So what happens is there's money that, obviously it's your taxpayer money, that is then sent to various government organizations who then send it to NGOs, which an NGO is a non-governmental organization, but obviously if it's a government-funded non-governmental organization, it's just an organization, it's just a government. And effectively there's a giant fraud loophole, which is that the government can send money to an NGO that is then no longer governed by the laws of the United States. So they'll send the money overseas to one NGO, then they'll go through a bunch of them, and then I'm highly confident that a bunch of that money then comes back to the United States and lands in the pockets of the people you just mentioned. But it is a circuitous route. It's not like it doesn't go directly, but let's just say that there's a lot of strangely wealthy members of Congress where I'm trying to connect the dots of how did they become rich while earning, how'd they get 20 million if they're earning 200,000 a year? Nobody can explain that. So something's, yeah, we're going to try to figure it out and certainly stop it from happening.
I don't think I have ever seen more irony, just brutal irony, than Elon Musk trying to accuse Adam Schiff or Maxine Waters or any Democrat of getting rich off the government, when that's quite literally how Elon Musk has built his entire net worth. Are we being serious here? Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, you are buying up, you are stealing, you are bribing for government contracts because that's what got you rich. And you have the gall to say it's some member of Congress. Just absolute ridiculous nonsense from Elon Musk. And his lies about government did not stop there. Before we get into the question he was asked, we just have to call out this BS.
Yeah, this is really worth emphasizing. Because, like, the radical left are saying that, like, somehow we're stealing Social Security. Like, first of all, I don't need the money, okay? In fact, it's costing me a lot to be in this job.
This is perfectly intertwined with the last lie he told. Elon Musk is not satisfied with his $400 billion, which it's not actually $400 billion anymore because Tesla stock has gone down so much, but it's the reason he is in government, because he is this greedy, insatiable, just like pest, really, this parasite on our government. Yes, he is trying to steal your Social Security. Yes, no amount of money will ever be enough for him. And no, he does not care about you, which is exactly what was made clear when Elon got caught in a lie about a promise he made early on in the Doge tenure with this question right here.
I just want to say that Doge's findings demonstrate to the American people that the government clearly does not care about our hard-earned tax dollars. I'm only 26, but I can imagine it's frustrating for people who have worked their entire lives to see their tax dollars going to fraud, waste, and abuse. And you alone have contributed so much money to our government
yes.
via taxes, so thank you.
You're welcome.
But I'm sorry that your money's not being spent very well. You've clearly shown your leadership and team is capable of transforming our government into something better than what we see today. I just want to say I'm sure I'm not the only one who's wondering, but we know that Doge has found quite a bit of money, and we would like to see some of that returned to the American people. Do you have any information on when Doge checks would be written or sent out?
Sure. Well, I guess we need to be successful at scale. We've made a lot of progress, but there's still a tremendous amount of work to do. Effectively, as government spending is made more efficient and spending is reduced, the tax by inflation is reduced. So one way or another, you will effectively be better off if resources in the United States are not wasted. And it's somewhat up to the Congress and maybe the President to as to whether specific checks are cut. But whether a check is cut or not, if you reduce wasteful spending, the economy is going to be better off. People will do more useful jobs than before. The total output of goods and services will increase, and then the average standard of living will increase. So that's.
Oh, so there aren't going to be Doge checks? You heard a lot about that in the first 2 weeks of the administration, or you saw a lot of people say they thought Donald Trump would be sending them out a stimulus check because Donald Trump, at the end of his first administration, when COVID was raging, put his name on checks that were passed by Congress because of Democrats. Donald Trump claimed that that was his huge win, right? Something Republicans didn't even necessarily want to do. They just wanted people to die during COVID. But people think Elon's writing him a check. Well, he just said, like he's not a good speaker to begin with, but you hear him just kind of like, well, maybe Congress, the president. No, the Doge checks are not coming. They're not coming, MAGA. And actually what Elon said about Doge making things cheaper, when you lose your Medicaid, when you lose your Social Security, when important government programs are broken, when the market is tanking because of this administration, when the economy is crashing, no, prices are actually going up. He's making your life more unaffordable. Oh, man. What a lie. There were never checks. What are we even talking about? How dumb do you have to be to believe that Elon Musk or Donald Trump was going to write you a $5,000 check? Just absolute nonsense. And we cannot allow people in Wisconsin to fall for any of Elon's nonsense. That is what this race is all about. That's what that town hall was all about. It's making sure we vote for Susan Crawford and stop Elon Musk's handpicked stooge and Brad Schimmel, which is exactly what Ben Wickler was talking about, the importance of this race right here.
This is a battle royale. This is a Susan versus Goliath story. It is a judge, public servant against the world's richest man and her henchman, Brad Schimmel. And the Attorney General Call is rightly suing about this, what looks on its face like an illegal crime, the offering of money to induce someone to vote. And there's a set of procedural things. It's now going potentially to the state Supreme Court. But it's pretty clear. If you read the statute in Wisconsin, it says you can't offer something of financial value to induce someone to vote. And Elon Musk probably realized he'd committed a crime because he deleted his first tweet and then posted a clarification. But when you rob a bank, you can't clarify afterwards that you didn't mean to rob the bank. It's still a criminal act. So what we have now really is this question of whether the world's richest man can buy our democracy, can smash the laws, be completely unaccountable. Brad Schimmel would be his partner in that operation. And that's why, while whatever happens in the courts happens, it's critical for every voter to help turn out every friend, every person they know in Wisconsin for Susan Crawford to knock on doors this weekend. And if folks want to fund the last wave of digital ads, go to crawford4wi.com and donate to Susan Crawford, because this is going to come down to the wire.
Ben, remind us why this race is so much bigger than Wisconsin.
Well, It was already going to be big because an abortion ban could be on the line, gerrymandering and democracy in Wisconsin, voting rights in the state that was the closest state in the country in 2024. But now with the way Elon Musk has blundered into this thing and thrown in more money than any person has ever put into any judicial election in American history, if Musk wins, we know he's going to keep doing this across the country. And every far-right MAGA politician or a totally opportunistic Republican will know that all they have to do is follow Musk's orders, and they will be showered with money and they can win. But if the people win, if Susan Crawford prevails over Brad Schimmel in this race, we send a message across the country that Democrats, that people who believe in democracy and freedom in a nonpartisan race like this can fight back, and that people power can overcome the power of the world's richest man. And that is a message of hope the country needs, and a warning to Republicans that if they accomplish themselves to Elon Musk in attacking Social Security, the Veterans Administration, the rule of law, if they try to destroy the federal judiciary as they're doing now, there will be political consequences, and they need to know that immediately.
Chairman, I want to go back to a little bit of process here, so we're clear on the state of things 3 days before this election. So this decision was by the state's appeals court. That is now the Attorney General is taking it to the state Supreme Court for their review on the question of whether or not this expenditure by Elon Musk of $1 million to two people, $2 million, is in violation of state law and federal law. What was the reasoning for the court to deny what is obviously prima facie an illegal transaction, potentially?
I'm no campaign finance lawyer, but my understanding is that the lower court, where he brought the initial suit, did decline to take it up. He appealed to the appeals court, which would have had to say there was a procedural problem in the district court. They didn't rule that there was a procedural problem in the district court, so now it goes to the state Supreme Court that would essentially review and decide on the merits. And the specific argument is that when Elon Musk promised $1 million to someone who has voted as he said, in appreciation for you taking the time to vote, which is a pretty obvious incentive, a reward for voting. And then he took the tweet down. Well, he never said that that reward was canceled.
This race is potentially the biggest election of this year, a year in which we do have governor's races, we have special elections, but maybe because it can send the biggest and clearest message about what Americans are feeling towards this administration and Elon Musk, that you cannot buy our votes, that you cannot control our government. We have to send that message. I am so excited for a win. Hopefully, I'm praying, and we're working hard to make it happen on Tuesday for Susan Crawford. And if you want to stay up to date on that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. Also, hit that notification bell. We got breaking news coming soon. And until next time, I'll see you soon.